Tom Clark's 6M podcast is a Boink Studios production. And now, on with the show.
Hey, what is up? Welcome to Tom Clark's 6M podcast. I'm your host, Tom Clark, and in this episode, I'm joined by co-host Phil Lindsey.
Just when you think Marvel might be cooked, might be done, it might be over, the word superhero fatigue immediately jumped to mind. By the way, if I went the rest of my life without hearing those words, it'd be too soon, okay? And honest to God, superhero fatigue. I've heard it from fans. I've heard it from other directors. I've heard it from people who are, let's be honest, pretty jealous that they didn't have anything to do with it. And I've heard it from people who just can't bother to just maybe don't look. You don't have to look. Go watch the movie you like to watch, okay? Just leave it alone. But people can't do that. If there was a genre of film I couldn't stand, I don't think I'd spend my days and night hating on it, talking about, oh, I have fatigue. I ain't got fatigue. I just don't watch it, okay? Mm-hmm. So when it comes to the superhero genre, kids, here's what I'm going to tell you. Just when you think it's over, just when you think Marvel's dipped, you get a show like Wonder Man. And folks, if you have not watched Wonder Man yet, we're about to ruin the whole freaking thing for you. So you either need to earmuff it pretty hard or you need to go watch the show and then come back and listen to this particular podcast because we're about to spoil the whole freaking thing for you, kids. Because I'm telling you, if you've not seen it yet, you are in for a treat. I thoroughly enjoyed this show. I can't wait to talk about it, and we got a lot to get to. But before we get there, let's do this. Wonder Man is an American television miniseries created by Destin Daniel Cretton and Andrew Guest for Disney Plus, based on the Marvel Comics character of the same name. Part of Phase 6 of the Marvel Cinematic Universe, the series stars an assorted cast of characters who we will get to. It's about a struggling actor named Simon Williams who learns that a legendary director is remaking a fictional Wonder Man movie, and he decides to pursue a life-changing role. Alongside Trevor Slattery, can't wait to get there, the 8-episode show blends superhero tropes with Hollywood satire, offering a more grounded, character-driven story than many larger MCU projects. Wonder Man was released in its entirety on January 27, 2026 on Disney+, making it one of the first major MCU series of the year. And that is your lowdown for Wonder Man. So Phil, as we get into this here today, I know you binged the life out of this thing in the past 48 hours. What's your first thoughts coming into this show, man? What do you think overall about this miniseries?
I think it's really, really good. I think the best thing I could say about it is the acting is fantastic. That was my immediate takeaway when I saw the first episode. And I was like, I'm immediately intrigued in both of these characters because they gave us so much straight away with both Simon and Trevor to chew on. I've been a big fan of the Trevor Slattery character since day one. And boy, did I feel vindicated after Shang-Chi and this show because I'm just like, yeah, you guys were always wrong about Trevor Slattery, and I'm going to die on that hill. You can also tell that the director here, Destin Daniel Cretton, he's going to be like one of the predominant voices for this studio moving forward. I was a big fan of what he did with Shang-Chi. He also directed that. And Trevor was in that show. So you could see that he wanted to work with Ben Kingsley again and do more with his character. But yeah, coming straight into 2026, and he's got this show. And I feel like it was a slam dunk for him. I'm immediately now excited to see what he does with Spider-Man.
Oh, man. Can you imagine? I mean, dude, we're going to get the Punisher. We're going to get Daredevil. Dude, that's going to be amazing, dude. Insane. Well, look, I'm with you. I love Trevor Slattery. And it's you know, people give that Iron Man movie a hard time. You and I both are on the record many times here that is a really good movie. People need to just get over themselves. And the Trevor Slattery character, the Mandarin, is fantastic. And I love that they brought it back here and brought it full circle. I got to tell you, man, he's so good. And sometimes that character is so unpredictable. There were several moments of this show where I'm like, is he being genuine? Is he got something up his sleeve? But man, he never did. It's so cool.
Yeah. One of my favorite moments of the show the needle drops in the show are fantastic. I think all of the music they use for the closing credits is really really good.
Oh, it's good.
Um, yeah, it might be just because we just talked about the Beatles anthology. Is it episode 1 or 2 that they do the song that Ringo was singing from the anthology?
I want to say it's the first one. Yeah, he's doing the old Carl
Right.
Perkins song. Yeah.
Yes, I think it's episode 1. But they do a few songs like that have like that same like country vibe to it, and that the music is such a big part of it. But one of my favorite moments from the show is when we don't know whether Trevor Slattery is really trying to give Simon up to the Department of Damage Control. He's in the car and he's telling them, "Just give me some time," and we get the needle drop of the Shaka Khan record. So good.
It's great.
so good.
He tells that Shaka Khan story more than one time, and it's wonderful.
Yeah, but just the concept of this show of really, I mean, starting it with the Marvel Spotlight thing, and if you've been watching the stuff on Disney Plus, all the Marvel Spotlight stuff has been either behind the scenes stuff or it's been like one-off stuff with Marvel. And so this show already has this concept of like it's a show within a show. And so I love this concept of like really covering Hollywood and just like all of these characters from Hollywood and all of these stories, because everybody goes to Hollywood with a story, right? Everybody wants to make it. Everybody wants to be somebody. And even if you
Right.
don't want to be somebody, the city has this way about it of making you feel like anybody can be somebody. And that's a theme that comes across multiple times in the show. And I really love that aspect of the show. I really love that this isn't just a straightforward superhero show. It's really like this satire on the entertainment business, and also really this like insightful way to look at actors and their process. And I thought that came across really well with Trevor and all of his small moments with Simon. And just I think just like Simon's underdog story as an actor and wanting to get a break is so easily relatable. All that stuff was good, but boy, just this concept of a show inside of a show. I don't know which episode it was when I finally figured out that the movie that they're making is mirroring the show.
Yeah.
Because we get to the episode where Simon finds out that they did the script change, that Barnaby, who is Wonder Man's best friend, is going to betray him. And the entire time, we're getting the idea that Trevor's going to betray him. Simon doesn't know it. And so you're getting these little sprinkled breadcrumbs of Simon and Trevor playing these two characters and leading up to this point of Barnaby betraying him. And the entire time, we're realizing in the show that at some point he's going to realize Trevor's not who he says he is.
Man, you could feel it building there too, like when he becomes more and more dependent on him.
Yeah.
And, to the point where he's like, I forget how he delivers the line, something about, I need him there, whatever. And like, and I looked at my wife and I'm like, yeah, this is going to hurt big time when he finds out. Like,
Yeah, because and you've also built up this idea of him really being lonely, even the stuff with his mother, and when we meet his family and she tells the story about him, and even the stuff with his ex-girlfriend and him not letting people in. And he let Trevor in a way that he doesn't let anybody in, and that's where it's
Yeah.
like, oh, this is really gonna sting when he finds out. And all of that stuff is so good. All of the gags, the Mandarin gags in this are so funny, man. Every time Trevor runs into somebody and they're like, "Hey, don't I know you?" And you keep thinking they're gonna like say like this role he played, and they're like, "Wait a minute, you're the Mandarin."
every time.
It's so funny.
The bit with the kids, when we thought it was drugs and it had nothing at all to do with drugs. That was a great bit, man. I was so here for that.
Yes, but I also love that Trevor multiple times points out to him, this isn't what it seems, because
Yeah.
he's done it more than once in his time in the MCU. Our introduction to him as a Mandarin, he's clearly not what he seems,
Right.
and so he has this seedy past, and so he's pointing out to him multiple times in the show, you can't trust this guy, or you can't trust this guy. He's pointing out to him every time he runs into somebody in the industry, or the kid that was trying to blackmail him. All of this stuff, he's like, you can't trust this person. You can't trust this person. And the entire time, we're looking around like, wait a minute, he can't trust you.
Right? Yes.
And it's so funny. Simon never picks up on it because he wants to trust Trevor. That no, he's steering you away from all these other people. And the reason he can see it is because he's also playing you.
Yes. Oh my God. Well done. Yeah. He knows because he's also doing it to you. And like he had no idea.
Yeah, he never picks up on it. And even when he gets a hint, I mean, there's this great scene where they're reading the script and they're going over the stuff of Barnaby's betrayal of Wonder Man. And he tells him, you can learn a lot from Wonder Man. And I'm just like, it's right there in his face. He doesn't see it. Doesn't see it.
Oh man, that's so good. Yeah, dude, there's so much here. The Easter eggs that are here are crazy. The Midnight Cowboy references here. I mean, there's so much great stuff to get to here, man. But we got to start with the cast, of course. Simon Williams / Wonder Man is Yahya Abdul-Mateen II. We know him from the Watchmen series. Kids, he was Dr. Manhattan. So everybody go check out that episode in the archives.
Also, Black Manta as well.
That's right. I forgot. Well, I'm not thinking about the Aquaman movie. So
he's so good in the first Aquaman movie. I really like the first Aquaman movie. And the second Aquaman movie isn't as good, but he's still very good in it.
He is very good. Dude, if you're not a fan of his already, man, you watch this and you tell me that you can't feel. And I'll be honest with you. There was a point 2/3 of the way through this season that I'm like, man, he's going to have to turn it around for me to have some sympathy for this guy. Because, man, the ego, and he makes everything about himself, right? Which, Phil, as we've often said here on the show, that's a traditionally flawed Marvel character. He's got hangups. He's not straight. He's dealing with stuff. He's imperfect. Like, he finally brings it back home by the last episode. But, man, there was a bit of time there where I'm like, wow, I don't know if they're going to have him turn the corner or not. But I think his performance is what made me feel that way. I just thought he was great here.
Yeah. He's also Morpheus in the last Matrix movie that was made.
Oh my God, I forgot all about that. Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. He's had a few pretty big roles. And you can see why he's a fantastic actor. He is great in this movie. You very much buy into his desperation, this longing, this need to want to be a leading actor. He's so good at it. He nailed every bit of like this underdog story that they're trying to tell. Like you said, the overconfidence, this undue overconfidence and arrogance that he has.
Yeah.
But also like the smaller moments, the gentle moments, and just like the moments where you're like, hey, this is just a guy. Like, for everything else going on with him, he's just a guy. And the frustrations with him, you could see like the frustrations boiling up in him multiple times. He plays that really well. And then every time he's given spots where he needs to act and like act within the show, he's great.
So good. Right? Isn't he great?
He's so good at like when he's playing off of Ben Kingsley as Trevor, trying to like monologue, and he's monologuing with him. He's fantastic. One of the best scenes in this movie where he goes to in the show, sorry, when he goes and he's doing the readings for Wonder Man, and he gives him the test of, you feel like you're losing your spouse, but at the same time you're cheating on him. And he does this test with him, and he does the monologue from Pretty Woman, and he completely botches it. And the director's telling him how he completely blew it. And this is again where I'm just like, it's the show within the show, because in that moment he's acting, but at the time he's mad at Ben Kingsley's character Trevor because he feels like he betrayed him in that moment. Because why are you acting with that guy? He's not your partner. I'm your partner.
Right. Yeah. Good point.
And it's like you can see he messed up that entire scene, and he's frustrated because he was mad. He was jealous. It was so good.
That scene immediately afterward, like when he puts his fist through the guy's head.
So crazy.
Right. I didn't go, oh, he's dreaming. Because for a half second, I thought, we don't know what they're going to do with this Wonder Man character. How do we know they're not going to go down that path? Like, did you know
Yeah.
immediately it was a dream?
I caught on towards the end of it when he
I
peeked his
see.
head in because it did look real, but it's such a great
Right.
shock. It was a great moment. All of this stuff in that episode, I feel like that was one of my favorite episodes of the show.
Yes.
I think that's like episode 6 or 7.
It's up there because they're auditioning and for the parts. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, what a turn, what a change too. Like through the course of that story was that like Trevor wanted a big break. He wanted to do this because of course he wanted the break. But man, when they're outside at that car that night and they both he has the voicemail that they both got a call back. I'm thinking Trevor no longer cares about this for himself. He cares about it now for Simon. Do you know what I mean?
Yes. Because I think to a degree Trevor wants a second chance.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I think he knows this is never gonna work out for him. And I think he sees throughout their journey, this kid has got it. This kid's got talent. This guy's got it.
Yeah, I like what you said about the movie within a movie or the show within a show, because in those moments when he's acting in the scene, like, I mean, I'm sitting there going, wow, he is great. And I know he's an actor playing an actor in a scene where he's acting. It's like a weird fourth wall thing,
Mhm.
but holy Lord, he's so good. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah. Yeah.
whew.
They do a great job in those scenes of like doing. You can't even really call it world building because Hollywood is a real place, but really fleshing out what Hollywood is and like
Sure.
what it means to move to Hollywood and try to make it, and just like even all the small towns around Hollywood, and you get like an idea of how big California is and why
Yeah.
people move from all these small areas to come here. I thought that came across really well.
That was excellent. Yeah. I mean, it just feels like a lived in world, right? It
Yeah.
feels like these people are actually trying to get hired, that they've all got these dreams, that him especially is trying to do something and trying to get his break. I mean, it just feels like they've set such a great backstory without going through years of flashbacks and different montages of him when he first got there. They didn't have to do any of that. You really felt like you were stepping into a world that was already lived in.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I was with that for sure. Yeah, he's great here. I didn't know where they were going to go with this. Through the years as a comic book collector, I've got a lot of Avengers in long boxes.
Mhm.
And I was never, I don't know about you, I was never a huge Wonder Man guy. I didn't really get it. I kind
Yeah.
of felt like years later they maybe missed the boat. Like, I kind of feel like Wonder Man should be the Booster Gold of the MCU, where it's more like not straightforward, but got a little bit of a comedy to it. And Phil, maybe you know more than I do. Did they do that in the book? Did they revive him and put him on that path, or no?
Yeah, kind of same for me. I was never a big Simon Williams fan. Not Simon Miller, the content creator, wrestling.
Yeah.
Wrestling's always on the brain. Simon Williams, I've never been a big fan of Simon Williams or Wonder Man. That was the era of Avenger comics that I wasn't really tapped into. By the time I started reading Avengers comics, he wasn't on the main roster anymore.
Yeah.
So I don't have the same connection with the character. But I do think there's a load of potential for him.
I mean, I don't want to skip ahead to the end of the show already, but we're not done, right? I mean, even if this series doesn't get a season 2, he's going to be on the big screen eventually, right?
Yeah, this guy is too good of an actor to
He's
not
too good.
use him in something. And I think at this point in 8 episodes, he's such a great character that I just can't wait to see him again. I think it would be a huge waste if they don't do anything else with him.
I just, I would hate for that to happen. And I've not looked ahead to see if a season 2 has been greenlit. Have no idea. But yeah, I'm with you. I can't see them not moving forward. The suit, by the way, looks great. It's real world. It's practical. Marvel's great at the suits, Phil, as you know. There's only been a
Yeah.
handful that I've ever bumped into. For the most part, they look, realistic for lack of a better term. But
Mhm.
man, dude, I am so here for it. I think he looks great. He's in great shape. He doesn't need to be jacked.
Yeah.
But good shape, sure, but he doesn't need to be Chris Hemsworth, ripped or anything. And plus, he's a great actor, man.
Yeah.
And plus, he's an Avenger in the books. That right there should be a green light to tell you what to do with him.
Yes. I also really love again this movie and a movie concept, and we get littered throughout all 8 episodes these flashbacks of his father taking him to see Wonder Man, and why Wonder Man means so much. And you have outside of that maybe kids looking at this show and they have that experience of going to see Marvel movies with their parents, and so you already have this way to relate to this guy that yeah, he buys into this character, he buys into um all of these things because like he went to see it with his dad and that was one of his best memories with his dad.
Yeah. I mean, do you know how old this character is, by the way?
I
He
don't.
he pre- he premiered in Avengers #9 in October of 1964.
Wow.
I had no idea he was that old.
I did enjoy him in the cartoon Earth's Mightiest Heroes. Very good Avengers show.
Yeah. I mean, Wonder Man's a mutant, right? How do I not know this? Because there's no indication that Simon had something happen to him as a child. He was born with this.
Yeah, I think the implication here with the show is that he's a mutant.
Yeah. Well, it's a new day for the MCU, kids. Mutants are coming. So,
Yeah.
Everybody get ready for that.
Boink Studios YouTube is the home of Tom Clark's 6M podcast. Tom Clark's Main Event, Bear Mode, a podcast review of The Bear, and Two Nations Under Ted, a Ted Lasso podcast. Subscribe to the channel for archives that date back to 2014, with new content being uploaded every week. And check out boinkstudios.com for links to every podcast platform, social media, special announcements, and a lot more. Bookmark the site today.
Yeah, I'm here for that. Let's talk about Trevor. This is the great Ben Kingsley, as we know. He is freaking wonderful. There's nothing this guy can't do. It is amazing that this guy is like a classically trained actor, been around the block many times, critically acclaimed. I mean, Gandhi, for crying out loud. All the stuff the guy's done in his career, and he's in a freaking Marvel show. I love it. I'm here for it. I think he brings a certain gravitas to the role, to the MCU. I mean, I hope he's having fun because I'm having a lot of fun watching him. I mean, great character, Trevor Slattery. He is fantastic, Phil. We both agree on that.
Yeah.
What do you think about him in this? Is this the best work as Trevor we've seen so far?
Absolutely. I feel like everything we got with Trevor Slattery and his journey from Iron Man 3, it's so much better up to this point because we've seen him more than once. Ben Kingsley is tremendous. It's just, man, great, great comedic timing. He's really funny in this. When he's asked to do some serious acting, he is just phenomenal. The acting that he does when he just turns it on and he starts monologuing with Simon is so good. When you're supposed to feel sympathetic for him, you feel sympathetic. When you're supposed to buy into him as this elder statesman in Hollywood that has seen the seedy side of Hollywood, that has seen big success, you buy into it as well. Um, I just can't say enough good things about his acting in the show. He's just so good. And then the character is just fantastic as well. I love that they kept the timeline intact with him and just added small things, small callbacks that were great. Uh, like when he went to the birthday party with Simon and his brother offers him wine. He's like, "Are you drinking?" And he's like, No. I've been sober for 13 years, the exact amount of time in real world since Iron Man 3 came out.
Well done. Yeah.
And then just the way that he pronounced actor is hilarious. I'm an actor, and
Actor.
I always think of that from Iron Man 3. Every time he said it in this show, I died laughing because it's so funny. Just his advice multiple times to Simon. He always has like the breathing exercises he was trying to give him.
And they work.
So
He used them and they worked.
Yes. I also love that they gave him all of these moments with real life actors, like when they brought in Joe Pantoliano. Well, I'm probably going to butcher this guy's last name.
Joe Pantoliano. Yeah.
Joe Pantoliano.
That's it.
That was good. The Josh Gad stuff in episode 4.
It's so good.
Fantastic. But I think the thing that makes it work as well is that this is Ben Kingsley playing Trevor Slattery alongside these people playing themselves, and it works.
It works. And I love that in the MCU, Josh Gad, the actor, was never seen or heard from again.
Beloved actor that played a snowman,
Yes.
never seen again.
That was it. That's where his career stopped. They've never found.
Yeah.
Dude, I long for the day that he suddenly just walks out of a wall somewhere. You're like, oh my God, it's him. He's back.
Yes. Yeah, very funny stuff. Episode 4 is probably one of the best episodes of the show. Just that detour for the Josh Gad stuff and the Damar Doorman stuff. So good.
Man, it got me wanting to see that character. So I'm sure I've got it in front of me somewhere, but the doorman character was reminding me of the Spot.
Yes.
So I'm guessing that's who that was supposed to have been.
Well, the Doorman is a real Marvel character.
Oh, there you go. See?
And so he has kind of the same powers. He also, if I remember correctly, he can fly, he's invulnerable, and all these other stuff. And they hinted at the fact that he was invulnerable because he took the hot bag out of that microwave, and other people ended up being burned by it.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, good point. Good point. Yeah.
But yeah, the Doorman episode is so good. Byron Bowers, that was the guy's name. He nailed it. That standalone episode where it's all about him and this cautionary story of an enhanced individual that gets sucked into the life in Hollywood. And it's so relatable. And they did such a great job in, I believe it's episode 3, when Simon's just like, I can't let people know I have powers, and next thing you know, I'm going to be like the doorman.
Yeah.
And then when you see what happened to him, it's like, oh yeah, this is why he fears his secret getting out.
Sure. Yeah. Man, in every scene where he tried to do too much backstory, and that was always how he screwed up auditions, I got so into it. I'm on my couch going, oh God, there he goes again. Do you know what I mean? Like you couldn't help but get into it.
But again, just this concept of what's real here. And the idea of you having somebody that speaks for the audience in this movie and going, the character wouldn't do this because that's what we do all the time. Like I read books about this character all the time. He wouldn't do this in a movie, and this is why he wouldn't do it.
Right, of course. Yeah. That's a good point. Yeah.
Yeah, I love that. And man, I felt so bad for him in the first episode where he's they're like, oh, this guy's great, and the more and more he talked, the more and more you can see he was talking himself out of an opportunity. It's like, oh no.
Yeah, right. Jeez. And they were very patient with him. And then he had the interview with the talk with the director later on Wonder Man. I'm like, is he going to screw this up too? My God, don't screw it up.
Yeah, all the stuff they did with that, I think it paid off really, really well. Because you're supposed to get the idea that this guy is talented, but he's out of his depth in some ways. And he doesn't really get that he's out of his depth because he believes so highly in his talent. And I think that's why the episode where he's doing the readings with the director and those other actors works so well, because you see him in a room with other people that aren't just relying on talent. Right, you see the guy from Juilliard and the guys that was the pool guy that was a quote unquote natural, and he's like, damn, he is a natural.
He is a natural, yeah. They were all very good, by the way, weren't they?
Yeah. And I think that's why it works so well, because we see in that episode that it's not just that this guy is overconfident in his abilities, but he's also insecure. And you see it when he's in this room, and it's like, no, Trevor's my partner. You're going to go and help this kid from Juilliard look good? No.
Yeah, right? Oh. I mean, again, there's so much great work being done here, man. We were talking about like, by the way, Phil, there's also the movie within the movie of the original Wonder Man, right?
Yes.
That his dad took him to see that you mentioned earlier. That's the classic, West Coast Avengers look for Wonder Man, but it also has similar colors to the Vision.
Yes.
With that green and red. So that's That's interesting. And in the comics, Vision's brainwaves were patterned after Simon Williams in the original comics. But I'm guessing that was just like a wink and a nod to that. So that's pretty cool.
Yeah, I thought that was good. I think the other thing that worked for this show is there are a lot of similarities here to WandaVision, and I think we're gonna go
Ooh.
back and look at like Marvel TV on Disney Plus, and WandaVision is gonna be the standard.
You think so? Yeah.
I think so because I think the fact that WandaVision was really the first hit that they had, and the timing of when it came out, when everybody was at home watching during the pandemic,
Ooh, good call.
and just like when every episode hit, everybody was like glued to their screens in front of their phones, live tweeting and everything. And that's just such a fond memory for so many people. And that's what really got so many people watching these Disney Plus shows. And I think they've been trying to recapture that feeling ever since.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, I agree with that. God, they did so much world building in that WandaVision too, didn't they? Like,
Yeah. Yeah.
but they also had the benefit of the Avengers movies leading into that as well. I mean, I think that helped that. I
Yeah.
mean, Loki
Yeah.
had the same thing too.
Yeah, for sure. I think some people were so attached to the Netflix shows. But WandaVision was really like the first bona fide hit that Disney Plus had with Marvel.
Yeah. Yeah, that's I mean, I agree with that. And maybe that's where other shows have maybe not had the benefit of sort of a lead in. I mean,
Mhm.
Ironheart didn't get destroyed, but fans rallied against it because black women scare white people for some weird reason. But like at least it had some sort of a lead in with Black Panther, Wakanda Forever, which is good. But I feel like this show, Phil, had no lead in at all, right? The only thing that's like, hey, we hope you guys remember Trevor. But man, with no lead in, this show didn't need it, right? It was awesome.
Yes, I agree. I really love that it's kind of its own thing, that, it has ties to other things. You can see that they're continuing to set up damage control as like the big entity for this era of Marvel movies. Um, but for the most part, it's a standalone show.
It is. Yeah. Yeah, for sure. I mean that's just that's the 2 stars of the show right there. That's it. We've also got Ex Mayo, which I don't know if I knew that was her name, as Janelle Jackson, Simon's agent. I don't know if we got enough of her, but what we got was awesome. And it kind of felt as though, I'm not saying they dated, but it felt as though there was history there, like the way they kind of talked to each other, and maybe it was beyond a professional relationship. We didn't get a whole lot of her in this show, man, but I thought she was really good.
Yeah, I really enjoyed her. I felt like she was a character that would have fit in really well in the She-Hulk show, if that makes sense.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
She could have like that same like humor and like that same quirkiness. But yeah, I think that she worked really well. I think that I don't know if I felt like they dated. I felt like Simon and most of like the characters around him in this show, including his mother and the girlfriend from the first episode, um, I feel like so many people were rooting for him to succeed. And he
Mm.
kept wanting to say, "Oh, this person's against me." Like in the episode where he finds out that they're doing a profile on him for New York Times, and he's just waiting for somebody to give this woman a bad story about him or to like expose his secret. And no, all of these people are rooting for him to succeed. And I think it's the same thing with his agent. As much as he was like giving her a hard time trying to get indoors, it's like, well, why are you doing this with me? I already want to open doors for you. I already believe in you.
Yeah, that's a good point. Everybody is kind of rooting for him, despite his ego and despite his, his ego that's undeserved. Like,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? That's what kills me is like, I know you're a starving actor. I totally get it. But like, it's almost like when he got a role, he forgot. Like, you just
Yeah.
got the role. You're not set for life now because you got one role, man. What are we doing?
Yeah, we definitely get this arc with him throughout the show that he shut everybody out. And I mean, for a good reason, because he wants to keep his abilities a secret.
Yeah.
But because he was doing that, I don't feel like he ever really trusted that people believed in him like he should have been believed in. Like we only got that in the scenes with his dad, when he goes out to lunch with his dad after seeing Wonder Man, and he's saying, "No, you can really do this. I'm not just saying that. I believe in you. I believe you can do whatever you want to do." And he might like believe that his mother believes in him, but I think we get across like several times, and that's why he poured so much into his friendship with Trevor Slattery, is because he closed himself off to everybody else.
I mean, again, like the idea that people are rooting for him, but he's been banged up and everything, and having to live with these powers. There is something very familiar, and maybe you'll know, so I don't have to keep racking my brain on this. There is something very familiar about him walking into rooms and things just shaking apart because he can't control it. Am I thinking of a character from the Heroes show when I see this? Because it's very reminiscent of something I've seen before.
Yeah, I don't know. I kind of had the same thought, but I just can't remember where I've seen it. But it was handled very well.
Yeah.
We don't get a ton of action in this show, but I think every time he does do something with his powers, it does look good. It never looks like tacked on. It never looks like some poor CGI or something. I think the effects with his powers looked good for the most part.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I agree. Yeah.
Yeah, but man, just how brilliantly written this show was. Because he's an actor and you get this idea with how much he puts into being an actor and how much research he does. And like how long did it take you in the last episode when he's like trying to research the guy to figure out what he was doing?
Can I be honest with you? This is going to sound like BS, like I'm just working you. I knew it was a prison guard. And I sat there for a second and I was like, it's a prison guard, because he was a normal guy, blue collar guy. And I'm like, there's no other reason for Simon to want to get close to him that he's going to go bust Trevor out of prison. I thought it was great. I mean, this guy's going to have a heck of a time explaining how he just has this massive bank account and he claims that he didn't know what Simon Williams was up to. I imagine he might have a hard time with the authorities. I don't know.
Yeah.
But, I thought it was great. I love that the ego thing dropped, and the only thing that mattered to him was getting his friend out of that prison.
Yes. By the end of it, I thought it was such a great moment for him as a character, because he had used all of the stuff that he had been doing as an actor anyway and going method, but he used Trevor's entire scheme on him throughout the 7 episodes. He did the exact same thing to this guy to get into the prison to get Trevor out of jail.
He did, didn't he? Yeah, that's true.
Like going and living with his family and this entire thing with a hoax, it was to a T what Trevor taught him.
That's so great. And at the end of the day, what are they going to do to you? Like, I mean, you're now world famous. You've been in one of the biggest movies of the year in that universe. You're now a bona fide star who's getting now movie roles. You're it. Like, you are, I don't know what to compare him to, but in that universe, you have made it.
Yes.
Like, what? Are they going to arrest you on live TV? No, they're not. They're not going to touch you now. Like,
no. Here's another, not just the Trevor part, that's also brilliant. Because again, this entire show is like one of those Russian dolls where it's every time you open, it's another layer on top of another layer. Episode 4, we get this idea of like celebrity in Hollywood, and Josh Gad is just like, well, wait a minute, you can be an actor. I'm not a great actor. And that's how Doorman becomes famous, because it's like, well, anybody can, with the right break, can be famous. Anybody with the right moment can be the main character in a story.
That's very good. Yeah.
It's essentially what Simon does to this guy in that episode. He's like, you're the main character here. I'm going to play you in a movie. And he gets him out of this idea of feeling like you have to be in this dead-end job, because the entire time he's complaining about his job. And he's just like, well, where you been at? I'm trying to learn to be like you. You don't have to stay at this job. And by then, he gives him an opportunity to get out of his job in the same way that Josh Gad does for the doorman.
That's a very good point. Yeah, good call. Yeah. God, I don't know if I picked up on that. That's really well done. Yeah.
Yeah, I think all the stuff with Josh Gad and Doorman is great, because it feels like Josh is being genuine. And it's like, hey, this guy's cool. Why not just put him on TV? I think he really means well for him. I don't think he understands that Hollywood is going to corrupt him like it corrupts people.
Sure.
I think he legitimately means well.
Poor guy. when he starts trying to do like Hamlet with the skull, and he's terrible. You're like, this poor guy can't act. You know what I mean?
Bro, the catchphrase thing, everything. Oh my God. The doorman episode is so good.
So good.
The stupid catchphrase. And, he goes from this guy that legitimately is fine with just being a doorman, just having a job.
Yeah.
And the first taste he gets of fame, he completely falls in. And he's just like, this is everything. And it's so believable because it's not just that you get caught in the trappings of fame, but it's like everything that comes with it, the money and everything. You start overspending, you start doing things you wouldn't have done before. And now you're stuck. I have to keep doing this. I have to get another gig because I have to keep up with the Joneses. I have to keep up with the bills.
Yeah, for sure. Tom Clark's 6M podcast is sponsored in part by Radius Law Group. Every day, Radius helps individuals, families, small businesses, and nonprofit organizations throughout North Carolina, Florida, and Pennsylvania resolve their legal issues by providing effective legal counsel in the areas of estate planning, as well as elder law and Medicaid. Radius Law holds the radical belief that working with a lawyer can indeed be enjoyable. So give them a call at 1-800-519-5667 for more information and tell them that Tom Clark's 6M podcast sent you. Yeah, the things don't go great for him, of course, but like, yeah, he didn't want any of that. He didn't ask for it.
Yeah.
It was really good, man. I was very here for that. We mentioned the director, Zlatko Buric as Von Kovac. Great idea. The wild hair. This, of course, this guy was in Superman and, freaking great. I mean, I guess he's one of the MCU's got him in the MCU now, right? He was DC, right? Now he's at Marvel, but he's fantastic, man. He comes across like a real person as well. I mean, he just feels like the genuine deal, man. He didn't have a whole lot to do here, but I thought that the minutes we saw him, he was great. I think he really adds to the show, I should say.
Yeah, I think he works in the same vein that Trevor works as a serious director that really wants to make like high art, and he sees cinema as art. And you immediately think of some of the directors that have done comic book movies and how they try to elevate the genre above just being like the cape and cow stuff and actually tell something that do something that has an impact beyond just being like a genre film.
Yeah.
And when I read about it and I saw that people were saying like he's a combination of all these other directors like Christopher Nolan, I was like, that immediately tracks.
It makes sense, right? It makes sense. And he saw it in Simon. He saw it in Simon from the beginning, and then the Pretty Woman thing screwed everything up, and then he managed to bring it back home and got the part. Like, but I think he wanted to believe in him for sure.
Yes.
We were talking about the government trying to stop it. Kids in the MCU, Phil, correct me if I'm wrong, SHIELD is still no longer an organization, right?
Correct.
Okay. So we've got the Department of Damage Control. I don't know if you can say this is definitely not SHIELD, everybody. This is more like if SHIELD were only bureaucrats, I feel like that's what the Department of Damage Control is, which is fine. It existed in the books. When Marvel introduced it, it was a pretty cool concept. I loved it at the time. But we've got Arian Moayed, I think, as Agent Cleary, and we've seen him before. He was in Spider-Man No Way Home and Miss Marvel, so he's a reoccurring character. He's like Coulson if you didn't like Coulson, but he's not a friendly agent at all. I love that they're tying this to at least the big screen, Phil, which is really good, and I appreciate that. I mean, we know we don't want the good guy to end up in prison, and this guy's just doing his job, but he's kind of sleazy at the same time, and
yes,
he's taking credit for things at the end that he didn't know anything about. He's like, I suspected. No, you didn't. Shut up. You didn't know.
Yeah, I really like the stuff they did with Damage Control here.
Yeah.
And I love that Damage Control has had like this like arc in the background of Spider-Man's trilogy from the beginning. And you see like Damage Control early on in the first Spider-Man Marvel Studios movie, and you see what it can do with good intentions behind it when Tony is alive. and you
Yeah.
see how much worse and worse it gets without Tony around and his influence and his in what he has done or what he's done to try to keep some of these like uh some of the bureaucracy around behind the scenes in check.
Yeah.
And I know that Tony comes off very poorly in Civil War. And the whole time he's saying, you know, I'm trying to keep something worse from happening. And quietly, I think you could see that with damage control. When Tony is not here, damage control is getting worse and worse and worse.
Right.
And you see that for the second two Spider-Man movies, and you see it here as well. I also love that this character is kind of an analog for like these smaller Marvel Studios projects where it's just like, well, you get the episode where the guy comes in and he's like, well, I really like you, but we're trying to get rid of some things for budget complaints. And it's like, I want to keep you around. You just got to give me a reason for you to be around.
Oh yeah. 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 When the boss stepped in, basically that one scene, for a half second I thought, is he doing this off the books? But then the boss says, how's your case going? And I thought,
Yeah.
I think there's more of a better story had he been doing this on the sly. What's his personal motivation for going after Simon? They didn't want to go down that road, and that's fine. But I was intrigued by that possibility anyway.
Yeah, I think they're trying to say that there's basically a parallel between him and Simon, that this guy wants to make a break for himself at damage control. He wants this big bust because that's going to be the thing that validates him. That's going to be the
Right.
thing that, keeps him employed because he can't just be another person that's just like moving papers around on a desk because then you're expendable.
Right. We have to shout out Simon's parents. And if I butcher this, apology. Shola Adwusi as Martha and Bakir Sylvian, I believe, as Sanford. First off, we don't get enough of the dad. Did you find it interesting? And tell me if I missed it. Did you find it interesting that we don't know what happened to the dad? Did we ever get it said what happened to him? We know he's gone, but what happened?
I don't think we find out. We just know that he passed away, right?
Yeah, it feels like a dangling plot line that they never. Can I be honest? When they went to see the movie, I kind of thought it was going to happen on that day, like something terrible.
Yeah. I don't know that we ever find out.
I don't think we did.
But yeah, his family is just fantastic. The episode where they go to his mother's birthday and we meet his mother, she is such a great character.
She's great.
His brother is just like the biggest hater in the world. Like at every turn, he's trying to rub his success in his face, and basically like, oh well, what are you doing? And I love that they know about his abilities and they just are just like they react to it like it's just like a normal occurrence, like he just had an accident or something. Like when he smashes the island at the end of the episode, and they're just like, Simon, what did you do? And it's not like they're shocked by it. I think that's great. But then, as much as he is hard on his brother, he never outs his secret. He never like does anything to like really ruin his life, and he easily could.
He could have burned him. He was terrified he had burned him with that reporter.
Yeah, and yeah, I just think that stuff came across really well. The world building that they did in that episode, and you really get a feel for like the neighborhood he grew up in, his family, and you know, even the few scenes we get with his father, I think are done really, really well.
Yeah.
I think you get the idea of why Wonder Man means so much to Simon, but also why it means so much to prove that his dad was right about him. It's not just I believe in my ability. My dad told me I can do this. And he believed in me, so I want to prove him right.
Yeah, right. Because he didn't care anything about acting, remember?
Yeah.
But his dad said it. And that's what made him go down that road. By the way, his brother is Demetrius Gross. And speaking of heroes, he was in Heroes as Baron Samedi. I did not remember that.
Yeah, I didn't remember that either. But I thought he was great here. Great actor.
Yeah.
I thought he played off of Simon very well in their scenes. They very much felt like brothers. Like when he comes in there dancing with the pot, and he was like, and they did the saying that their dad says, "This chicken looks like it was born to be in the sauce." That was really funny. Um, yeah, just the way he kept like hot dogging it around. It's like because the first two episodes we do kind of get this idea of Simon, like, hey, this guy's kind of a jerk. Um, then in this episode, you legitimately felt bad for him because it's like, bro, his brother just will not let up on him. Just
Yeah, right. Just won't let up on him. Yeah. This thing got backed up a couple of different times there, kids. This originated after Cretton signed a multi-year deal with Marvel in December 2021 to develop content for Disney Plus. And alongside guests, he created or shaped Wonder Man into a character-driven narrative, which we know that's exactly what they did. Filming began April 2023 in LA, but the WGA and SAG-AFTRA strike interrupted it. And then it resumed in January of 2024. So it was way overdue by the time we saw it on Disney
yes,
Plus. Post-production completed in late 2025. That's how quick, dude. Late 2025, they completed post-production and got it to the streamer in January.
wow. Yeah,
Crazy.
feels like a quick turnaround, but yeah, this was a very well made show, very well written, very well directed. The acting is fantastic. Um, just all the little small stories that they managed to do, the commentary on Hollywood, the commentary on making superhero movies as well was really well done. Um, like, I mean, the worst thing you can say about this show is that there isn't much action, but it didn't bother me by then.
No, because it's not that kind of show. It doesn't need to be that kind of show, right?
No, I that's why I think it has so many similarities to She-Hulk as well, because I feel like it focused so much on characters and telling its story and getting out. And I enjoyed that because I really enjoyed the characters and the stuff that they did with them. It didn't bother me at all that we didn't get like the big bad or the showdown by episode 8. I kind of feel like it would have felt tacked on if we got that by episode 8, where he had to have like this big fight scene by the end.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. We were talking about Joey Pants being in this thing earlier. He is so great. Like, he's not really a scumbag. Like, he doesn't think he did anything wrong. But dude, the fact that he took Trevor's part in the Wonder Man movie, it's like bitter irony, bitter, you know what I mean? Bitter pill to swallow for Trevor for sure.
He was great in that episode, and just he is just so smarmy, and like he does such a great job
Yeah.
of really filling you in, and just the phoniness of Hollywood. If this guy like, oh man, I'm rooting for you. What do you mean? I want you to succeed. And he's telling you, oh man, real estate, all these he's trying to give you all this advice, and it's just hot air. He is blowing hot air and all this stuff. And Simon calls him out on it at the end at the end of their interaction in that episode. And there's just enough there to make you think that he's right about Trevor, because it's like, I didn't steal your role. You were hungover and you were strung out, and I was just in the right place at the right time. And then they leave, and he immediately calls his agent, like, why wasn't I told about this movie? And then
Right?
so by the time the stuff happens with Trevor and he steals his role, it's such a great gag. I died laughing with that reveal. I was like, of course he ended up in the movie.
Yeah, dude. That is so good. I mean, again, like you said, smarmy to the point of like, what is going on with this guy? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah. Also, love the reference because Simon says, loved you in Matrix, by the way. Yeah, I was in
yes.
Matrix, as I pointed out. That was a great callback. And then the Barnaby character that turns on him in the movie, the character that Joe Pants plays in Matrix, turns on Keanu Reeves and everybody in the first Matrix.
Oh, that's true. He is always his best when he's the betrayer. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Yeah, he's always at his best for that. Yeah. I mean, kids, we talked about like some of the Easter eggs that are here and some of the things that are happening in the background. I got to be honest with you, man. Through the entire show, I was physically and visibly checking everything I possibly could check and find in scenes to see if I was missing anything. And, there is some stuff here and there, but it's all very obscure. Like there's some movie posters in the background. There's Zaniac, which is the Zaniac, and it's like a fictional, like in-universe movie, and it stars Brad Wolf, formerly Hunter XO5 of the TVA from Loki season 2. There's a Kingo movie poster,
Yeah.
and right, the guy from the Eternals. It's shown outside of a small theater, and supposedly posters have been popping up in the MCU. I don't know if I was even aware of them till now.
Yeah. I love that they give us MCU Hollywood and just like this idea of making like a superhero movie inside of a superhero universe.
Yes.
I think that stuff is really great. Um, and just the fact that they give us not just all of these actors that are playing themselves, but like they give you Mario Lopez doing like the Entertainment Tonight style show and all of these other things like news, and it feels like real Hollywood.
Right. Yeah, that's very true. Yeah. I mean, look, there are some eggs here, but I like that they didn't feel the need to say, and look, one of the major criticisms about the MCU stuff, as far as the streamers and other movies and projects, has been they can't get out of their own way. They're
Mhm.
like, they'll take a great script and a great cast, and they will shoehorn in every possible link they can to the next movie, the next streamer, and they force it. Like I've read reviews about certain projects that are like they're forcing it. I'm like,
Mhm.
I didn't feel that at all on this. Did you feel like anything was being they had to go talk about that, didn't they? I didn't get that at all here.
Yeah, I think that in Daniel's first big big movie in the MCU, Shang-Chi, that was one of the critiques of that movie is that it had to set up the next big thing. It had to end with the third act that was a big fight and like a big monster and all those things. And I do think it's great that he in the second project he did with MCU, he avoided all of that. He didn't have to do any of that here.
Right. Yeah, yeah,
He,
yeah.
he got to tell his personal story and then move on.
Yeah, that's true.
I was waiting to see if we got anything like related to Shang-Chi here at all. And I was surprised we didn't.
I'm surprised by that as well because, and Simu Liu has been pretty surprised, like the rest of us, that there's never been a part 2 of that freaking movie.
Yeah, $1 billion movie. We haven't gotten a sequel yet. There was no reference to Shang-Chi here other than Trevor. Trevor doesn't really mention any of his stuff from Shang-Chi either. He doesn't mention any of his like other than the fact that he got busted out of jail in that movie. We don't get any reference to how he got busted out of jail, nothing.
Nothing. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, there's nothing there. Well, he's going to be in Avengers Doomsday, so at least he's back for that. So
Yes.
hopefully they have a lot of fire under them. We mentioned Simon's brother. We did not mention that in the comics, his brother is the Grim Reaper. How far do you think they'll go down that road? Do you think we'll get there? Are we going to have a season 2? Have you heard anything?
I have no idea. I would like a season 2 because it's such a good show. Man, if you're gonna give us another chance to see Simon and Trevor together, I would love to see that.
Man, I mean, I would love to see that too. I mean, I don't know how you get there because now you're talking something major has to happen. I don't know what that major would be, but man, I don't know. According to what the showrunner has said, kids, and this is as of January 28th. As I'm telling you this, we're several days past the 28th. But supposedly, viewership numbers will decide whether the story continues. But that doesn't mean that you won't see Simon and Trevor showing up elsewhere, which we hope we do. Avengers Doomsday doesn't seem likely, one source says. I completely and vehemently disagree with that because you could have him in 5 minutes and move on. It does not have to be a major part. But,
Yeah.
Avengers Secret Wars maybe is a better bet. But in my opinion, Phil, like you strike while the iron's hot. He's been in front of people now. People know who he is. Get him in that
Yeah.
movie if you haven't already.
Yeah. Yeah. I would love to see him pop up in a movie.
Yeah. So let's see. All right, here's another one from 3 days ago. And let's see, Marvel fans just received the best possible news ever. He is returning as Wonder Man in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, which is good, which is great. Let's see, billed as a miniseries, hoping for season 2. This coming from Yahoo Entertainment. It was teased by Davis in a post responding to influencer Matt Ramos, who was worried over the
Yeah.
possibility that Shang-Chi and Wonder Man might not get the proper sequels because of Cretton, who directed both the MCU, will be busy with Spider-Man trilogy. And he said Wonder Man will get more, but that's all he said.
I do think that Doorman is going to play into something in the Spider-Man movie. If I had to guess, that's my theory. Especially because we already know that Damage Control is going to play a part in that movie. I do think we'll see Doorman referenced again or something. I just refuse to believe they would give this guy this entire standalone episode, and we're never going to see him again.
Exactly, right? That's a lot of world building to never see him again. What did you think about the whole thing being in black and white? I mean, I know it was like a flashback or whatever, but that was an interesting choice. I really liked that visually.
I did as well. And again, it made me think of WandaVision a lot, that episode in particular. Yeah, I really liked the way it played out. I really liked just this idea of like a guy that had 15 minutes of fame and he doesn't realize that that's what's happening, and it's just so good. It's just such a relatable story, and you feel so bad for the guy by the end. Yeah, I hope we see Doorman again.
I mean, dude, black and white sounds like Spider-Man Noir. What's the chances he shows up in that series?
Yeah, I don't know, but I mean, he's played up multiple times in the movie, within a movie, within another movie. Um, um, he's played up as this way to escape multiple times, and that's why my theory is he's going to play a part in that movie in how somebody escapes Damage Control.
Well, we know the prison that Simon escaped, or that Simon busted Trevor out of, is where they had the abomination. So there's a little Easter egg for you kids that at least they've got that one.
Yeah, I almost thought that Doorman was going to play into how Trevor and Simon escaped the prison as well. I was surprised that didn't happen.
That it's interesting, right? That would have been a nice way to tie everything back together.
Yeah.
Yeah, would have been a really nice way. I mean, Trevor's in trouble now. If he wasn't in trouble before, he's definitely in trouble now.
Yeah.
Supposedly, Roxxon, and maybe I missed this, is responsible for the Doorman fiasco, and I'm sure I just missed it in the show.
The liquid that's coming out of the dumpster, if you look on the side of the canister, it says Roxxon.
There you go. It's an extremely evil company in the Marvel, forget MCU, Marvel comic book universe too.
Yeah, Roxxon has been referenced before in the MCU. It was referenced, I believe, in some of the X-Men movies by the end as well.
I think so. Yeah, you're right. Yeah. I mean, we got to keep things going, right? We got to introduce fresh concepts. They may not be fresh to comic fans, but they're fresh to the MCU anyway.
Yes.
Got to keep things going. That's why S.H.I.E.L.D. can't go on forever. S.H.I.E.L.D. had its arc. I mean, they'll put S.H.I.E.L.D. back together, but I mean, isn't DeFontaine? How am I not remembering Thunderbolts already? We freaking reviewed it here on the show.
Yes.
I mean, isn't S.H.I.E.L.D. still active in that, or am I thinking? Wait, it's not S.H.I.E.L.D. It's
yeah, I don't think it's S.H.I.E.L.D. I think it's another organization.
It's another,
because even in Black Panther, it was CIA that Everett Ross worked for.
That's true. Yeah, it's not AIM. It's not AIM. It's one of the other fictional government agencies. Not Damage Control, not AIM. It's somebody else. Sword.
Yeah.
Right? Isn't she the head of Sword or whatever it is?
I don't know if she ever referenced that she's a director of Sword, though.
Interesting. Well, yeah, they've got a. Again, they're. I just love that they're just not wanting to stand still. Like it's.
Yeah.
I had a conversation with somebody the other day, and I was like, you know, the idea of we can't do anything new, and it's a sore spot for a lot of people. Like, I like IP that we grew up with and that people younger than me grew up with. This IP is coming back and they're doing reboots and sequels and prequels and it never ends. And you know the conversation we've had many times here that IP reigns because it comes with a built-in audience. They're guaranteed somebody's going to go see this or download it or stream it or watch it and stuff.
Mhm.
And I'm like, while everybody's upset about that, comic books are not a reboot. The MCU is not a reboot. The MCU has material dating back to the 60s. I mean, and before. Like, there's so many stories that have been told, but so many stories that haven't been told. And like
Yeah.
just when you think you figured it out with the MCU, there's many, many other things that you either never heard of or you weren't aware of that they could just put into a movie and it feels fresh and new because it is fresh and new, Phil. Like, I think that's what helps comic books stand apart from other IP is that you can tap any story through any generation you want to, and it can become the next blockbuster film.
Yes. Yeah. And I mean, I think people have to keep in mind, these things will eventually get rebooted. Um, some people might not be enthused with adaptations of some things, or adaptations of some things. Um, but it's not the last time we're going to see it. These things will get rebooted in years from now. Like even if you're looking at this like this isn't Wonder Man, I don't think this is the last Wonder Man TV show or movie that'll ever be made.
I agree with that. I mean, when this was announced, it feels silly even mentioning it because I don't know why we need to mention it. I never need to mention it again. Hey, everybody, when a fictional character who's white that never existed and was never real and was never a real person and didn't represent a real person, when a black man or woman is cast as that fictional white character who wasn't real and never existed, bunch of white people don't like it.
Yeah.
So, bunch of white people didn't like this either. But as you and I have said many times here, some characters, it does not matter at all about gender, ethnicity, or anything. You can still tell a compelling story. I never envisioned Wonder Man having to be white, having to be anything, because I
Yeah.
think the story is just so open and it's more about the character's personal struggle than anything else that we could even imagine. And I think giving him, African American roots and that's his family, I think it makes him more textured because of his mom, because of the Jamaican, everything he's got going on at home. And I just think it adds to the character, Phil. I don't see any issue there at all.
Yeah, I think again, I think that they do so many things writing this movie that are brilliant. Um one of the hallmarks of Simon's character throughout all 8 episodes is that he does his homework. He does his research and he a lot of times he feels like he's the best person for all of these roles because he came in and he's prepared.
Yes.
And it's such a great piece of meta commentary on what they did with this show as well because they didn't just take a black man and make him Simon Miller. They did the research of okay, who is this guy? Who is this version of Simon? Okay, he's Haitian. All right, let's do the research and make sure his Haitian family speaks Creole. Let's make sure like we reference like what do Haitians eat? Like, how do Haitians speak to each other? Like, it's not just that this is a black man playing Simon Miller. We want to actually flesh out this character as a lived-in Haitian character and make him feel like a real person.
Haitian. Apologies. I said Jamaican. You're totally right. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, so, you know, at the end of the day, it shouldn't matter that this is a black man playing Simon Miller. I mean, Simon Miller again. Simon Williams. It shouldn't matter if this is a Haitian Simon because is he a good actor? Yes. We get that in 8 episodes. We see how good this guy is as an actor. But also, we did the research to make a fully formed 3-dimensional character with him.
Yeah, for sure. Again, it feels very lived in. And I got to tell you, man, when he destroys that kitchen island, I felt so bad for his mother. And I'm like, for real, because I love her. But again, that is back in my head when I'm thinking, yeah, this guy is kind of just self-centered. Like they were just doting on this, and she was so happy and bragging on it, and then he just wrecked it. with one shot. And like I wanted to see a new one pop up in her kitchen that he bought her or something. You know what I mean?
Well, I felt bad for her, but I felt bad for Simon too because it really felt like again his brother just would not let
God,
up on
yeah.
him. He's rubbing this island in his face the entire time, and we have to hear about this kitchen fire for the entire show. And his brother's treating it like, oh well, I stepped up and I got mom an actual nice uh I got her actual nice kitchen with an island. And so when he smashes the island, it's just kind of like, well, yeah, screw you. Leave him alone. Why are you like rubbing it in the face this entire
Right.
episode?
Right. Yeah, it was rough. I agree with you. Yeah, it
Yeah,
was rough, man.
he had so much to say about the ice cream machine he bought him. Well, basically, I bought that, I guess, because I pay for everything around here anyway. It's just like, dude, like,
But in the end, they had him do the right thing, and he didn't. He could have
yeah,
destroyed Simon, but he didn't do it.
yeah. And it almost felt like he was upset that uh his mother was so happy about the ice cream machine. It's just like, well, basically, I bought it anyway. It's like, well, if you could have bought it, why didn't you buy it?
Right.
And again, plays into how thoughtful Simon is when it comes to roles because she was saying, "Oh, you really paid attention that this is something I wanted."
Uh, yeah, that's a good call. By the way, kids, Sword has been in the MCU. They were not in Thunderbolts. I got my wires crossed on
They
that
were
one.
in the Shield show, right?
Yeah, well, they tried. They tried to be in the Shield show, and Marvel said no. They refused it.
Ah,
Yeah,
I
they
know
wanted to
that the
incorporate Sword.
director of Shield, the director of Sword, sorry, is in an episode of Shield.
Maybe that's what it is. Yeah,
Yeah,
they.
Victoria Hand, that's the name. Her name.
Oh, there you go. Yeah. So Sword does show up in WandaVision.
Yes, that's right. That's right.
Yeah, forgot all about that. I mean, I love the idea of Sword being a successor to Shield. I don't know why. I'm just here for it. Sword Kids, if you're not familiar with this organization, this thing has existed in the comics for a good long time. And I feel like they're going to become just like Department of Damage Control. It's just going to be something that's kind of in the background, kind of always there, and they can go to anytime they want to. But it's the Sentient World Observation and Response Department. I got to be honest with you, that kind of sounds like what Tony wanted to do.
Yeah.
Suit of armor around the world, right? So, well, kids, I believe there you have it. That's Wonder Man. Phil, I need a season 2 of this because if nothing else, I want to see this guy trying to balance being an actor and a hero in a season where he's no longer trying to get the part. He's already successful. I want to see what that world is like for him moving forward, actually.
Yeah, for sure. I definitely want to see more of this character. Definitely want to see more Trevor Slattery. Definitely want to see more Doorman. Like, they did such a great job in eight episodes of getting us attached to these characters, man. I really want to see more of them.
I definitely agree. Yeah, for sure. I mean, kids, I've made no bones about it. I'm in the bag for Marvel. There's a lot of stuff they've done. I can't say a lot. There's some stuff they've done I've not been happy with. But it is what it is. But this is definitely not one of them. I mean, I absolutely want to see. I definitely want to see Wonder Man back again. Never thought I'd ever see the day where I'd get a Wonder Man miniseries and then want to see more of it. Because again, I'm telling you, I didn't care about this character in the books too awful much.
Yeah.
I mean, I knew him for the Avengers. That's all I knew him for. But yeah, hopefully that will change moving forward. And again, he's such a great actor, man. I mean, you're going to have all these people in Doomsday anyway. And I'm sure Secret Wars is going to be jam-packed full of people as well. I'm so anxious for December of this year. I cannot wait to see that Doomsday film, man.
I'm looking forward to the first like big trailer we get. The teasers have been so fun. Can't wait to get an actual trailer.
Yeah, it's going to be crazy. Everybody stay tuned for a lot more, kids, because they just dropped Daredevil Season 2. Daredevil Born Again. Trailer's great, by the way.
Yeah, great trailer. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, we still haven't gotten a Spider-Man trailer as well. We got Spider-Man later this year.
Ooh.
Yeah, a lot to be excited about.
Heck yeah, man. Let's get out of here, Phil. Let's get your last word on Wonder Man.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like if you're still with us after we spoiled a lot from this show, if you have not watched this show, get on it, man. This is a great show. I think if you're looking for like action-packed show, it's probably going to disappoint you. But if you just want like a character and story-driven show that is like easy breezy to watch, um, this is a lot of fun to watch. I know some people complained about them putting all 8 episodes up immediately, but it's so easy to binge because they're quick episodes. And man, I defy you to not be attached to these characters by the end because they did such a great job of introducing these characters.
Yeah, I totally agree. I mean, I couldn't agree more. I think it's fantastic. I mean, I had a feeling it was going to be good. I didn't know it was going to be this good. I had not yet watched it, and it was on my to-do list. And then I saw one guy, one talking head, didn't seek it out. One talking head on Instagram put this thing over to the freaking moon. And he's like, if you have not watched this yet, you have got to stop what you're doing and go watch it. It is great. And I'm
Yeah.
like, well, that's it. I'm sold. So I went and watched it in 2 days and I loved it.
Yeah, I didn't read or watch anything about it. I went into it with very low expectations. I didn't really know what to expect at all, and I ended up really liking the first episode, and I was hooked.
I just feel like, and I love the spectacle. I love the spectacle. I love Doomsday. I love Infinity War. I love Endgame. I love the spectacle. And I think that they are great at doing spectacle. But I also think they're equally as great at taking two characters on a park bench, talking with a shield right beside of them. I think they're equally great as a young man who's lost his uncle and he's emotional. I think they're equally as great as an awkward hug between two characters as Black Widow's sacrificing herself. Like there's spectacle and there's
Yeah.
grandness, Phil, and there's huge moments. But dude, I feel like these creators, when they're at their best, will have the simplest thing destroy you. Like you're in tears and you're just, oh, I love this so much. I think that's why this works, and I think that's why Wonder Man works, because Wonder Man is not built on spectacle. It's built on a real world. It feels like a real world with human emotions and flawed characters, and I think that's why it's successful and it works.
Yeah, but again, that's one of those things, the meta commentary that they do here where Trevor is trying to get Simon to make something that means something. And every time he's trying to think about what's next, he keeps telling him, well, do theater, do something where acting stands out, where character stands out. It's not just this blockbuster stuff. And that's exactly what this show attempts to do. It tries to give you something that is very character driven, that allows the actors to put some great acting on display, but also just tell wonderful stories. And uh, when Trevor gives him that pep talk and he tells him, you know, your secret isn't all who you are. It's just a part of who you are. And this is what we do as actors. We give people something that makes them connect, that makes them not feel so alone. And that's what these things are supposed to do, whether it be TV shows. And I feel like that's what comics did for me for a long time. I said for years, I don't know who I would be if I did not read Spider-Man comics, because so much of what I believe in morally and so much of my belief in people comes from Spider-Man comic books.
Yeah, dude, I'm with you. There's been so many comics that have moved me through the years, that just issues I'll never forget, because they do they do the thing that as a pro wrestling fan has to be done. It doesn't matter how loud the music was, how hot the pyro was, how big the stage was. If you cannot connect, you will never get over. And it's the same thing with storytelling. You have to be able to connect. People have to be able to feel what that character's feeling. And if you can't feel it, it's not going to work. And I think that's where a lot of other comic properties over the years have swung and missed, because Phil, there's no heart, there's no connection, there's no way to get in. And I think that's when Marvel's at their best. I don't think anybody can touch them.
Yeah, I think when they take risks like this and actually just do small things, I think it does really well. I think that's what worked well with the Loki show. It's worked well with WandaVision.
Yep.
When they just tell their story and do these very concise, small shows, I think it works really well.
Yeah. Yeah, I totally agree. And I can't wait to see what happens next, kids. And we're all going to stay tuned. Keep your eyes open for news about Wonder Man Season 2. I'm hoping it's coming and it's being 100% confirmed. It looks like it looks good, everybody. So keep your fingers crossed there, and hopefully, again, we'll see Mateen on the big screen and Slattery. Kingsley, we need to see these characters back. It's a must-do thing, must-have moment. So everybody stay tuned for that. We appreciate everybody listening, as always, and for following the show, for liking, sharing, subscribing. Please remember to check out Boink Studios on YouTube if you have not done so yet. Give the channel a follow. Be sure to check out Phil on Grapsody. And thanks, everybody, for tuning in, as always. Be sure to come back next week for a brand new episode. And until then, that is Wonder Man, the miniseries.
Hey, thanks for listening to the show. Check out our social media on Facebook, Instagram, and Threads at 6M Podcasts. We'll see you next time.